I'm blurry.
Yo,
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back.
I got that shit in my fucking camera.
You look like God is descending from the heavens.
It always reminds me of the Omen, bro. Like when there's that picture of like the fucking post of the priest. Like
Nah, you look fine. You look fine. You see ya. I'm dark, but I'm always
I
dark.
don't know. I gotta get a new light bulb or something. I don't
Hey,
know.
so it's been a while.
Yeah.
We took a little break.
Took a little break before Horror Fest, but week 1 of Horror Fest, little spooky season. Can't wait. Got a bunch of good stuff coming this September and October. Got that Nightmare on Elm Street box set coming. Got the Night of the Living Dead direct, long-awaited Tom Savini director's cut, which we'll be reviewing to end Horror Fest. So a lot of cool stuff. And we got those TCM remake Arrow 4Ks coming next week, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. I feel like they always do that though. They wait till this time of year and then they start unloading a lot of the.
Oh yeah, obviously Christmas coming. From now to Christmas is going to be packed.
Yeah.
Open your wallets.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful and only get, the boutique stuff, if anything. That's probably the only big non-boutique thing I'm getting is that Nightmare on Elm Street box set.
Yeah, the physical media prices have gone way up. 4K stuff has gone way up.
Oh, yeah.
Less people buying, so they know they can get the money for the stuff. So, it's expensive.
It sure is. Well, this movie we'll be talking about tonight does not have a physical media yet, but I think around December it's getting a steel book.
I think it's coming out actually sometime in I think it's coming out in late October, I think.
Maybe.
Well, I can see. And already on digital, I believe. No, it's not on digital yet,
No, it's not on digital.
but I'm sure it will be on digital soon. It's been out
Yeah,
for a while,
it depends how much money. It's only been out a couple weeks, but not
and
December.
it's done really well at the box
It's
office.
coming. It's coming December 31st. The Steelbook.
Well, I think that's the date they put on things when they're not quite sure when the date's going to be. I would expect it a
No,
little sooner.
that maybe the digital. The Steelbook's coming December 31st.
Yeah.
The digital will be out probably in October. But yeah, no, if they have a release date for physical media, they don't just like be like, okay, we're gonna release it 2
Well,
months.
sometimes they put things. They put December 31st down on things that they don't know the exact release date. So I think right now it's up in the air depending on how much it makes. Is the
Not
thing.
for the physical media. For the digital, maybe it'll depend. The Steelbook is coming out December 31st. The digital could maybe be up in the air. But the physical media, it says on Amazon, December 31st. It's actually sold out, the Steelbook.
Yeah, because I think I ordered it.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, this was which I'm surprised it even got a physical media, because the guy who did this, Zach Krager, did one of my favorite movies, 2023 Barbarian. So I had major high hopes for this movie when it was coming out, and me and Evan went day one Thursday night to go see this, and yeah, I was my most anticipated of the year, honestly. Um, I loved Barbarian, and I love Zach Krager because he always seems to want to do something a little different and not give the fans the normal. You know, like when you see shit coming a mile away, he tries to do something a little different, and I appreciate him doing unique stuff. So yeah, I was definitely super hyped for it. I tried to lower my expectations because I seen everyone going nuts in the reviews, and nowadays, man, I feel like me and you will go see something that everyone's raving about, and we'll be like,
Hey, come on.
and
Yelling at my dogs.
yeah, as always. But yeah, a lot of the big movies that people seem to love, I'm always like, yeah, it was all right. I don't think it was as good as everyone said. The only one I'd probably agree with on that this year, at least, is Sinners. That was probably like my number one that everyone seemed
Well,
to
this is probably my
well.
this is probably my favorite movie of the year in a horror movie so far. I get
Yeah,
confused because Nosferatu didn't come out this year, right? It came out at
end
Christmas
of
time last year.
2024. Yeah,
Okay, so close, but yes,
Physical came out in
right.
2025.
So I would say right now this is my favorite horror movie of this year so far.
Yeah, it's up there. I don't know if I gotta. I don't know if I'd put it over Sinners. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's probably top 3 at least. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Um, there was some things I wasn't crazy about. I think just I had such high hopes too. That's why I always try to like lower my expectations, because going in with everyone giving it had like 50 reviews at 100%, and I was like, normally there's like 4 reviews and it's at 100%. So when I saw like 50 reviews and it's still at 100%, I'm like, damn. So I definitely enjoyed it though. But it's one of those too where it's like, once you know the twist, is it gonna hit the same as rewatchable?
I think
So
it
that's
will.
also, I gotta take something into account, is like, how rewatchable is this for me? Where Barbarian, I could watch that over and over.
Yeah,
So I
I think
I
yeah,
gotta
the
see how
twist.
that will play out over time, because it's hard, because this is still in theaters. It's not like we can just throw this on the 4K and the disc in the player right now and see. But I definitely did enjoy it. I thought it was unique. I thought the cast was great. It's funny because you got that Julia Gardner, and she was just in Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer with Pedro Pascal, and it was said that Pedro was supposed to play Josh Brolin's role, but because of scheduling, he couldn't do it. So that would have been crazy to see 2 movies back to back with those 2 in.
Yeah,
I
well,
honestly
I mean,
think
honestly,
Pedro might have.
she
I
was
think Pedro,
unrecognizable in that movie, so
right, but
couldn't tell it was her.
I'm just
Right.
saying that it would have been cool to see them both. But
No, I
I
like
think
Josh
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin was great.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
he was kind of talking weird about like the horror genre and all that in interviews, because I feel like he might be a little acting like he's a little big for his bridges to do a horror movie. But Pedro, I guess the whole movie was like it. Like Zach Krager said he had to do like rewrites once Zach Krager would once Pedro couldn't do it. But I think Josh Brolin did great. Um, Yeah, the cast was completely different before. Um, but I think Josh Brolin was great. He plays a lot better of an asshole, I think, than Pedro was. I don't know if Pedro would have been like that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't think he was really an asshole. He was just mad because his kid was missing. I mean,
oh yeah, but he was being an asshole.
yeah, he was being. Yeah, the whole town
And
was
and
being bad.
and his kid was like the asshole bully of the school and
Right,
all that.
right,
So you know
right.
what I mean? Like I'm not like
The most disappointing part of the movie
he
is when
just
you find
wasn't a
out.
perp.
Right, when you find out the one that he's looking for is
Yeah.
the kid's the brat.
Right.
So,
But no, I thought Josh did great. I mean,
yeah,
there's the scene when he has that dream and he sees the fucking creepy old lady and he wakes up and he's like, "What the fuck?" And when me and Evan were watching, our entire theater burst out laughing. It's funny as I was reading comments for a lot of people doing the review for this, and everyone kept saying in the comments, they're like, my theater went nuts. They burst out laughing. So it seemed like that one was a big one for a lot of theater reactions. So that was
yeah.
cool.
You might want to just say, if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers because there is a twist in this movie, and we always be
Well, I
talking
haven't
about.
said nothing.
Well, I know, but eventually we will be talking about stuff that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's definitely going to be a spoiler review. That's for sure. I didn't put it in the comments, but I kind of figure like we're at the 2-week mark. So,
Right.
but I'll probably add it just to be safe.
But if you're just watching the beginning to find out how we both liked it, we both liked it.
Yeah, we both enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it.
I have issues with it. I'm sure Dylan does, but we both
Yeah.
liked it overall.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think it's worth going to see. I think this one was a little bit more for the majority, where Barbarian to me was a little bit more
Yeah.
for like people like me and you and Two Gun and
Right.
Evan, like
This
who
is a little bit
love
more
horror.
mainstream,
Yeah.
a little bit less gore, although there's some, and there's some good gore in it, but it's not as freaky deaky as Barbarian is
Yeah.
with babies sucking on
Right.
with Justin Long getting breastfed and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? Me and Evan found out because she makes a tiny appearance. The girl from the remake of Last House on the Left, the one that gets fucked up and shit, the young girl, she's married to Zach Krager, and remember Justin Long is in this, and he has that wife, and his wife tells Josh Brolin, like, no, you're not getting a
Right.
video camera. That's his wife, and she's the one from Last House on the Left. You almost can't recognize her because she has that dark brown hair. I'm so used to seeing her with blonde hair. I would have never even noticed it.
Yeah, and evidently Justin Long is a friend of the director because he's in this again, and
Yeah.
a really thankless cameo that really amounts. I expected to see him more than you actually see him, and you don't.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sure though, him being in his like first feature role, but I love Justin Long, so I do not mind at all.
Should we basically break down the plot? I mean, the movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if you wanted to say anything about your initial thoughts, but I know you kind of said your few things.
Yeah, I mean, the plot of the movie basically. Yeah, the plot's pretty good. You get these 17 or 18 kids, I think it was, that in the middle of the night just walk out of the house. They got video of a lot of these kids just wandering out and doing this, and then they don't know where they are. So there's only one teacher, Julia Garner. Her class is the only one where one kid was left there. They didn't take it from her class or something like that. So the whole town blames her, including Josh Brolin. And of course, it's kind of odd because you're saying to yourself in the beginning of the movie, well, why would this chick stay here and subject herself? But of course, the whole movie only takes place over like a 2-week period. It's really super condensed. So, Josh Brolin is a father who's trying to figure out what's going on with his kid. Eventually, he does ally with with Julia Garner, and together they find out what happened. And it's really about halfway into the movie, maybe even 3/4 of the way in the movie, where you get the twist, where you actually find out, what's happened. The movie's shot like a Tarantino movie.
Like Benedict Wong's story. Because we also, you were just about to say it. There's that Quentin Tarantino style.
Yeah, it's a style where each character gets his own little area,
arc,
that his little arc that intercuts his chapter, intercuts through the movie at various points. So you're jumping back and forth in time. And
so they're almost replaying the same part of the story,
but from the other perspective. Right. And I have issues with that. I don't like that, but I did enjoy it. It took a while to get into the movie because of that.
Well, that's my thoughts on rewatchability, because I loved it in theater because I'm like, this is cool. I'm a huge Tarantino fan. I've never seen that done in a horror aspect.
I think
so
it
I
has
can
been.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
but when I think about rewatching it, I'm like, damn, no, I don't think he's done that. Horror movie. In his westerns and Pulp Fiction and all that, but like a full-on horror movie.
There's other movies that do that.
Maybe, but not like a mainstream horror movie like this. So I'm sure if we
the problem with this type of aspect on the rewatchability is because you're reliving a lot of this stuff from different perspectives, you get a lot of repeat stuff going on. You see things, the same scenes from different angles. And that's great if you're enjoying the character you're with. But if you're with a character that you don't like, it's a drag. And there are a few characters in this movie.
I like them all.
The movie was close to 2 hours. I thought they really probably could have got rid of a couple characters.
Yeah.
Like the cop could have been truncated. The druggy kid, you could have followed him around a little bit less, but he was cool.
The druggy kid I liked.
They're all pretty
big part. The druggy kid is a huge part.
They're all pretty good. They're all pretty good, but because you're reliving a lot of that, it does drag in certain spots in some areas. But you get over that. I did overall like that. And you find out basically that the kid who didn't get taken, his parents, who you finally get into their house, has been taken over by a relative of theirs that really they've never met, an aunt that comes to live with them because all the other relatives don't want her for a reason. Or they've had, and she's a witch. And basically, she's using the captured kids to renew her life force. And ultimately, she also uses them as weapons against the people, some people, but also she uses people as weapons because she's doing this voodoo witchcraft magic on the people that turn them into weapons against whoever she wants to take out. Is the basic plot, and it's pretty good. Somebody didn't mention Amy Madigan, who plays the woman. What was her name? Aunt was Irene. I forget the aunt's name. The witch, the one that comes to live with them. It's their aunt. I forget, but Amy Madigan plays her, and she does a great job. She's really good in this. As the witch, and so is the kid. The kid who plays this in this is really good. As you said, Dylan, the cast is pretty good in this movie. It really is. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that's truly bad.
Gladys?
Is it Gladys? Okay.
The witch's name. But you know what I didn't like is that Josh Brolin, we find out, is the one that puts witch on Julia Gardner's car. And I wish I wish they never did that, because as soon as they do that, I'm like,
did he do that?
Yeah, they end up saying he did. But first you just see that she got witch, and then eventually it shows because he gets the paint. And then they don't actually show him do it, but they show him following, and they show him with the paint can. So it's pretty obvious. But I didn't like that because I'm like, it basically kind of I'm like, okay, so this is going to have something to do with a witch, where if you didn't do that at all, I would have had no idea what the fuck was going on until once he puts that, I'm like, that's kind of weird.
It's a red herring though, because they're calling her Julie Garner a witch because of what happened, and ultimately you find out that it was a witch. It just wasn't her.
It's a red herring that
Supernatural.
fucking actually comes
Right,
to
right.
fruition just for somebody else.
I mean, I guess you could have wrote "bitch" something in there, but
Yeah,
it kind of
that-
makes
yeah.
it kind of makes sense why it would be that, because it was so, nothing. These kids vanished.
Yeah, I'm sure we could put it together.
And a lot of creepy stylistic scenes in here. The stuff with the kids in the cellar is very creepy. Her boss, Benedict Wong, who goes nuts. That whole attack scene is very good and very creepy.
I like when what is it? Julia Gardner's like looking around Alex's house, and she just sees the parents just like she's like looking in the window, and they're just sitting there. And
At first you suspect the parents. That's who you really suspect.
Right. Then also, if you didn't pick up on the witch fucking thing on Julia Gardner's car, you would also see that Julia Gardner like sits outside of Alex's house.
Right.
And she falls asleep because she's an alcoholic, so she's drinking while she's doing this. And then the mother
comes out.
keeps coming out, and then she cuts her hair.
Well, I think she does it once. She does it once. But then you think the
mother cuts her hair.
Right.
Though.
Right, but that's more of a red herring to make you think the mother is the witch, or the parents.
Yeah,
the witch. Right.
I'm saying that the hair cutting also makes you think there is a witch, that there is going to be something to do with a witch.
Yeah, but I think ordinary mainstream people don't think that way. We've seen a million movies, But I think mainstream audiences wouldn't think that.
Yeah,
but
we've seen a million movies. Evan's probably seen, like 100,000 because he's younger than me. He'll get to 1 million. And he figured it was a witch too, so
yeah. I mean, you kind of do expect there's some supernatural stuff going on.
I'd be curious to see like what most people would think that aren't like crazy about horror, like me, you, Evan, and Two Gun.
Right.
Like just casuals, but yeah, because also in a way, there's not a lot of like if you take some, it's like it almost seemed like they added. Like the classroom scene when she's having like a couple of those dream sequences, and then the sequence where Julia Gardner and Josh Brolin all like have these dream sequences, and you see like this who we find out is Gladys, which is also
right.
There wouldn't be that much scary stuff in it, honestly.
Yeah, it's more creepy. It's more creepy than scary. It's a creepy movie. It's not so much of a scary movie. Well, and they did manipulate this movie. They reshot the ending because the audiences didn't like the fact that it just.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they reshot the ending. It just ended on Brolin. There was no voiceover at the end saying that the kids was catatonic. Some of them were okay, some of them weren't. They added that because the audience didn't like the ending, and he added that in. So they did shoot some of this a little differently, and maybe that show.
Curious to see if they'll show like a alternate ending on the disc.
They might.
Shut the fuck up, Two Gun. You ain't no casual.
I would think they probably will.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I mean, yeah, and there's some great scenes like when the witch gets them to stab their faces with the fork is cool. It did kind of seem, and I don't know how you feel with it, that once you do get to the witch part, when she comes to live with him, and you're basically following the kid and the witch, and you're seeing what his life was like, that almost seemed like an expository dump, where we're just finding out everything in one big boom.
Yeah, well, I also found out that Aunt Gladys got her own chapter, but Zach Cregger decided to chalk it and just, I guess, maybe kind of mix it in with Alex.
Probably smart.
But now they're talking about doing a prequel for Weapons with Aunt Gladys. So it's kind of, but yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that, because I think me and Evan also kind of said that Alex's chapter was maybe the weakest, and that's when it started to go down, even though it was like kind of explaining everything. That one kind of was like,
I don't think his was the weakest. Maybe some of the cop stuff was weak.
Maybe the cop.
I mean, we had some stuff in this movie that the movie was an hour and 55 minutes.
It's just kind of explaining some shit that you some stuff that you already kind of figure once.
We like the cop's wife. We didn't need any of that. All that could be cut. Like her hitting Julia Gardner, and her coming home to find him there. Didn't need any of that. That was pointless.
To me, that's almost like him trying to be like, oh, I'm going to do like Quentin Tarantino stuff where it's like they do all these conversations and stuff that don't mean anything, like the fucking Pulp Fiction fucking, French cheeseburger shit. You know what they call a quarter pound, where a lot of it doesn't turn into anything, but it's like, it's still iconic for some reason, where it's like, it just didn't work. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you should have cut. I'd have rather got Aunt Gladys's story than the fucking cop shit with his wife.
Yeah, and that's where a little bit that some of that stuff falls down, because some of it, like as long as you don't take it to like this should never happen, like the cop going to the house and then staying there overnight. His cop car is parked in front of the house.
Right.
The guy's on duty and basically vanishes, and nobody comes looking for the cop.
But Evan told me before we went or after that Zach Cregger did make like a statement in an interview that he's like, you gotta put some disbelief in a lot of the shit in this movie.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, oh, this doesn't make sense, because it's like a lot of it's dream sequences, a lot of it's witchcraft, all it, you know what I mean? None of it, so you got to kind of just put some disbelief and be like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it's cool. You know what I mean? Like the fucking gun in the air that says 217.
That we were weapons.
Like, what does that mean?
Right.
It didn't mean shit. To Zach Cregger, it didn't mean nothing. He just had a dream about it, and he thought it would be cool. It did. He was like, but he was also doing something where he's like, I like that it might not mean shit to me, but fans think like, oh, it could mean this, it could mean that. He's like, that's why he didn't want to give too much about Gladys, and he kind of wanted to leave some things up because he wanted people to.
Well, that's where maybe the movie's a little strange because he sees the gun over the house where the kids are. But the kids ultimately, they do become weapons at the end of the movie, which we'll talk about in a second.
Right.
But ultimately, the kids aren't weapons. The kids are there to reinforce her life force. And she was just going to leave them in the basement catatonic at the end. They weren't weapons at the end. The only ones that were weapons were the ones like the principal and the people they sent after, Brolin and the cop and that. And that was the ones who were truly the weapons.
Because they were weaponized basically through the spell to go after Julia.
Right. And then the kid turns the kids into weapons. The kid does it. And I kind of like the fact that the kid's smart enough to look at what she was doing throughout the movie and does it back to her. I thought that was cool. I thought that made the end pay off. And you had to see her get her just desserts.
Right.
And that's why I both love and hate the ending. I love the ending because, I love to see the kids. It was funny as hell. The kids ripping through the houses and then ripping the witch apart. She got her just desserts, and it's funny. What I don't like, though, is the fact that too many of these movies, and she saw that video, and I agree with the video when he said this, I forget whether it was CCH or another guy, that too many movies, this is a horror movie. So the ending shouldn't really make you laugh and be that funny. It should be more scary, and it wasn't because it was so funny because of what happened. I like the ending. I like the ending a lot, but I can understand where people might come out and say this is a horror movie and it's really a comedy at the end. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I like that, but I can see where somebody might not.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing that's I will add too is the fact that we never meet the narrator. The narrator is some rando girl that you never meet.
Yeah.
And then how which I guess
think it's just like kind of with a weird, creepy voice or something.
Right.
I thought it might be Alex or something.
It's not. It's just some random girl in the class, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know if she's in the class.
Who knows? Maybe
it's just she's just under narrator in it.
Right. But that ending was cool, and that ending was great. It was great.
Yeah.
And those kids really, they kicked their ass.
Yeah.
They ripped her apart.
They sure did. Fucking hate her ass.
And then it is somewhat of a downer ending because we find out a lot of the kids don't recover. The kids, Alex's parents don't recover. So there is a
Yep.
downer ending there.
And he goes to live with another aunt.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like why would you send that kid to another aunt?
I guess
No,
that one.
I think he just went to a random foster family. I think if you rewatch it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It says he went to an aunt that loves him or something, though,
Yeah.
but who fucking knows? But yeah, I thought it, because I don't even know if Aunt Gladys was even related to Alex. You know what I mean?
You don't know.
don't know.
She could have just been somebody that called them and used the people. So you don't know whether it was
because
true or not.
the mother and the dad even say like that they barely even like
Right.
that they don't even know her. You know what I mean?
Right.
That it's some because if it's her aunt, then somehow that she would be sisters with the mom. You know what I mean? And
Right.
she's
It
always fucked.
it would be the mom's.
I almost think that
Mom.
might be part of the witchcraft to kind of put it in her head like that we're related.
Right.
But
You
we're
don't know
really not.
whether it is or not. It doesn't really matter, I guess.
Nah, it doesn't. But yeah, to me that's I don't know.
The other thing I thought was kind of odd and it leads to some suspension of disbelief is, I mean, the cops must have gone to this kid Alex's house so much over the 2 weeks because he's the only kid that didn't disappear, and Alex and the aunt papers over the windows, and no one thinks that's fucking odd.
I think that's after it dies down, but
I guess
it shows like the catatonic dad and then the mom, and it's like she basically just says like, yeah, they both had a stroke.
Right. That's
came
the
down
other
with
thing.
something.
That is the other thing I thought was so stupid. It's
They
like
both have a touch of consumption or something.
Gladys brings the dad in after he's in a
And
fucking
he just like
he has
sits.
a stroke, and he's like that would never, the principal would never happen. It's funny, but it took me out of the movie. It just took me out of the movie, you know.
I think Alex has to put like makeup on him because he would have had the fucking fork holes in his face.
Yeah, that just took me out of the movie, but you know, it was all right. I still thought it was a great movie. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, especially Evan said, "I love the bit with the cop and the drug addict." Yeah, that shit's really good.
That's my favorite scene.
Yeah, I thought the stuff with the drug addict might have been even the best. And like, honestly, I feel like his arc was the best and had the most to do, like, because he's the one that finds the kids. You know what I mean? And
right, and she's the only one, if I remember. Well, no, I guess you could say the principal was too, but she looked for him because he went back to his tent.
Well,
and she's sitting there.
Yeah. Well, she starts stalking them, and then that's why her hair gets cut, and then the principal, because Justine says you need to call, something's weird's going on, and he says he's not gonna. Well, we think he's not gonna, and then we find out he does try to get the father in, and then Gladys comes, and then she just shows up at the house, which is another great scene where she's like, I'm so thirsty, I got my car broke down. Can I have a bowl of water? And they're like, a fucking bowl, you know what I mean? And then she basically just does it like on the spot, and that's when you really get the reveal.
Right.
And then he weaponizes Benedict Wong to go after Justine.
Right. And that's hard. I didn't realize it was him at first, and I said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, I couldn't tell, and then I was like,
"Oh, but that's great makeup on that scene, though. Really good."
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, in my opinion, my favorite scene, you know, the ending I would say I love because the kids, but my favorite, funniest scene was when Brolin is just trying to get that drug addict down. He keeps on popping up. That was just so good.
Especially when he asked when the cop asked too if he has any needles in his pockets multiple times, and he tells him no.
Right. Well, true, and the cop's father-in-law is his boss, so maybe his boss just hates him.
I didn't even know that.
Doesn't give a shit.
People in reviews kept saying that, and I was like, did they say anything?
Yeah, there's a scene where he's talking about him and his wife. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, that shit's crazy.
But no, overall, I love it. I thought it was a great movie.
The captain or whatever, he was from the Blumhouse Halloween movies.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
He's the one who talks about, I got peanut butter on my penis. Well, I think he's only in one of that. He gets killed in the first Halloween. What's up, Jaguar? But yeah, overall, man, I definitely enjoyed it. and it's got a really great. It's filmed really well, honestly. Even if you don't like the way they did the Quentin Tarantino style with the chapters, the way it's filmed, the cinematography, there are a lot of dark scenes in here at time, and they pull it off really well. Um, and then there's kind of a lot of darks and blues like in those dream sequences, which I liked a lot. And then you get some of those creepy shots of the kids, running around through the, like the blink cameras or whatever, the doorbell cameras. So there was some really cool stuff. So I remember that was all I needed to see when they were promoting this movie, is just seeing camera footage of the kids just running around with their arms out, and I was like, this just seems so creepy. And the 217 is that because when we were driving home, I was like, man, I got so much I just was feeling like this was inspired by The Shining, like I was getting vibes of that, and I was like, really?
Room 217.
But yeah, because in the book it's room 217. Only Kubrick changed it to 237 or something. I forget. Kubrick changed it though, but in the book it's 217. And Krager says that The Shining like really inspired him with this movie.
I think they should have just done it. They
spot on with that.
They should have just done it at 4:20 a.m.
4:20, yeah, or 6 or yeah, woke up, baby.
The kids all went out for a toke.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, man, it was definitely great, man. And Gladys was fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah.
And I saw Evan sent me a picture, and it was Zach Krager wearing a shirt, and it looked like like the Wendy's logo, but it was Aunt Gladys as like the Wendy's logo.
Yeah, she was the wife of Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams, Amy Madigan. She did a good job here.
Yeah, man, she's fucking creepy. Like in those dream sequences, she was fucking creepy looking, dude. She's not as creepy like in the daytime, she's still weird.
She's got the wig on, the weird wig and all that.
Yeah, in the dream sequences, she was creepy, man. I was like, damn, bro. It was kind of giving me like Pet Sematary vibes with the sick, creepy sister, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think they definitely nailed it with a lot of stuff.
I think Aunt Glass just went by now. Holy fuck!
Yeah,
hold on.
So.
Hold on. Nothing.
But yeah, I'd be curious. I'm curious how this will play for me in the future. Like with rewatchability. Because that's a big thing for me, man, to be able to watch a movie over and over again. Because that's all my life, man. I'd watch movies that I love over. I've seen all the Halloweens hundreds of times. All The Thing, They Live. So many of my favorite movies I could just watch over and over again. So, and Barbarian, man, I could just throw that movie on at any point. So, cinematography is inspired by cinematography and Prisoners. Yeah, I could see that, which is another one of the great fucking movies. You ever see Prisoners, Scarphead, with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal?
I don't think so. Maybe I did. I don't know.
Or Hugh Jackman, and it's like Thanksgiving Day, and Hugh Jackman has his buddy Terrence Howard and his wife over, and their kids are playing, and these two little girls get kidnapped and go missing. It is so fucking good. Such a good, weird movie. And Jake Gyllenhaal plays a detective.
Fuck. It's dead.
Yeah. I was like, literally, like, is that fucking a real skunk?
It's a skunk.
Yeah.
Could be a real skunk.
Yeah.
You guys got fucking toys everywhere. All right. So, yeah, I really loved it. I want to see it again.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I already ordered the Steelbook.
It'll be out in digital soon, and I'll watch it again. And I've ordered the Steelbook, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered the Steelbook. It sold out, so I'm glad I was able to snag that.
Yeah, it was fairly cheap. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
The cover was
the Steelbook also has the cool cover. I don't know. I haven't said what the 4K.
Right. Well, I have a feeling. This is my feeling that this movie will do well enough on video that we'll finally get Barbarian on video.
I hope, but that's
So-
I thought it was a different cover, the Steelbook. This is the cover, which that's not it. I'm not as crazy about that actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see what the cover is for. I thought it was this cover, like the poster art. That's what I would
no. It was
rather
always
have.
the other cover.
I didn't even look. I think I just instantly pre-ordered. So it depends if the slipcover has the other artwork. I might cancel my Steelbook, honestly. But
Yeah, I may too, depending on what
this-
the other one looks like and how much.
this looks like it also comes with the 4K and Blu-ray, where the slip might
Does
only
not.
come with just
It
the 4K.
doesn't. It only
so
comes with 4K.
that
yeah.
might be sometimes
I'll
that.
probably keep it. You're right.
You know, I don't like that though, because me and you are kind of not into Steelbooks all like that anymore, because you know what I mean.
That's why they're doing it for a reason, to get you to buy that
Yeah.
Steelbook. It's a
Well,
scumbag move.
they can charge more for the Steelbook because it probably, because they're like, it's a Steelbook, it's
Right.
better material.
Yeah,
and then
you're almost
because
better
they-
off though. You're almost better off to just wait, buy the 4K, and later
Yeah.
on the Blu-ray drops.
When the Blu-ray's
you're gonna
$10.
buy it then.
Yeah, you're probably right, because I think you end up paying at least $10 more anyways
Yeah,
for the
at
Steelbook.
least.
So, yeah, you're probably right about that.
I mean, I have no problem with them chopping out the Blu-ray out of these things, but
Yeah,
drop the price of the movie,
Right,
the 4K.
exactly. Drop
If you're
it
gonna
big.
do that, it should be $24 for the fucking
Exactly.
4K.
Yep.
The 4K should be $24. The Blu-ray-
28,
the Blu-ray
28
should
at
be-
most.
Yeah, and the Blu-ray should be like 19.
Yeah. Yep. Should be 25 for the
they don't.
4K and like
Right.
22 or something for the fucking Blu-ray.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of people say that 4K's. I think even you've said it. I have never experienced this, but it's probably true. The 4Ks scratch more than Blu-rays do,
Yeah, I think so, but I can't.
and sometimes they
I
do
don't know
skip.
that for a
They've been
fact.
known to skip. I can tell you right now that I probably have a ton of 4Ks I haven't watched.
I've
that
had
don't work
4Ks. I've had 4K skip way more likely than I've
Right.
ever had Blu-ray
Right.
skip. So, yeah. But what do you want to rate this? Anything else you want to say about the movie? Favorite character, maybe? Favorite character? Favorite scene? Well, you said
Favorite scene was the druggie attacking James Brolin. That's my favorite scene.
mine, yeah, mine too. Or the dream sequence with Josh Brolin when he wakes up, like.
I have to say my favorite character is going to be Aunt Gladys. Without doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I hear that. Yeah, I would definitely say Aunt Gladys. Or since you picked Aunt Gladys, I'll go the druggie. The druggie
Yeah.
was great. And I heard Zach Krager's next movie, or Resident Evil, the druggie's going to be like the main star in that.
Really?
He's not going to be a drug addict, but he actually he played well as a druggie, but I've seen him in other stuff, and he can clean up and he'll
Right.
probably be pretty good. But Resident Evil, I'm really excited for, because he's
Yeah, I mean, I really like
Resident Evil.
Jennifer Garner in this movie, but she disappears for large portions of this movie. Jennifer Garner,
Who's that?
Jennifer Garner,
Julia.
Julia. She disappears for large portions of this movie, so she's not in it as much as you would think. So yeah, I like the witch. I like Amy Madigan's character.
Yeah,
She's my
Witch is
favorite.
great. I'd go Witch and then the drug addict.
Right.
The Witch obviously makes the movie, but the drug addict was fucking great.
Yeah, I think this especially, if she wasn't good, if the witch wasn't good, the movie would be very disappointing.
Yeah,
The witch had to be very good, and she
Yeah.
is.
and she's very creepy too.
Right.
So they pulled that off. So fucking
Um,
the big one. What do you rate it? Anyone in the chat? Let's hear your rating down below if you're able to watch Weapons.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
I'm gonna give it a
I
4.
think that's fair.
Just because I have some issues with it, and the pacing is the pacing's a little off in some of it because of the way they shoot it. But other than that, I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I'd be about the same. I'd give it a 4 as well. It's not a perfect film. I did really like it. It was good theater experience.
Well, I look at it this way. I think about these movies that are shot in this Tarantino style, and the whole reveal of the witch and stuff is if they shot this as a normal movie, and laid everything out in linear order, would the story be as good? And I
Yeah.
don't think it would be. It really relies on that stilted style to make it a better reveal and a better story than maybe it would be if they shot it normally.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love Resident Evil as well too, Gun. I hope it finally is done right because they've never done Resident Evil right, live action, never. The
Yeah, I
video
think
games are so good.
the first one probably comes the closest, and
Yeah, and to me, it's okay. It's
Silent Hill was a better Resident Evil movie
yeah,
than Resident Evil was.
yeah. Well, then Silent Hill is its own video game,
Right,
so you know.
right.
I love the Silent Hill movies.
I'd love to see Resident Evil done right. I'd love to see a miniseries.
Resident Evil must have the one with Mila Jovovich must have been good enough because it got like 7 fucking
Right,
movies.
right.
So there is a fan base for them, but it's just very hard for me. I've watched a few of them, but I never can get into them that much. You know, they're okay. To me,
Yeah, they're okay.
But I really hope Zach Kragers is done right, and I hope because he's not doing it like the video games. He said he's doing like his own thing. It's inspired by the video games, but it's its own thing. He's like, if you want to play if you want the video game story, play the video game.
Well, the problem's going to be, and maybe this has changed, is I think the Resident Evil series back in the day turned out the way it was because Konami had a lot of input and they wouldn't approve a lot of that stuff. So hopefully that's still not the case. Hopefully that he can deviate from things without Konami saying, no, you can't do that.
He would do it. I don't think he would do it otherwise. I think because that's why he did Weapons, because he said, I'll only do it if I can get, if I can be left alone and get last cut and make it the way I want to make it. So
studios like Konami and stuff, they don't have the pull they used to have. I mean, when those movies were made, they were huge.
And a lot of these directors, that if they get a big movie and the studios know it, because there's guys out there that were like, when he's doing a movie, we drop it and we go see it. So when they get that juice, they're like, hey, I want the fucking movie to be how I want it. And if you're going to fuck with me, then I just won't do it. Right. So.
But let's hope because this does so well that we do get Barbarian on video in some point.
I pray to fucking God. I think Disney's the one that owns that. So that's why Zach Krager said he's been trying. He's been trying for a while and he has had no luck. So I've been praying that like Shout Factory or somebody could get it.
Yeah, somebody will probably license it.
I didn't know Disney. I thought it was Warner Brothers, but I guess it's Disney.
I don't know. It doesn't look inside.
I think it was 20th Century Fox or something. But I'm pretty sure it's Disney. But yeah, Two Guns said 4 slits as well. I'm sure Evan's going to be around that. Evan said I'd give it 4.5. So, yeah. But yeah, there's not much coming out in theaters that I'm going to be going for. The next probably big thing is Toxic Avenger. And it looks like Robbie jumped in to say Weapons was great. 4 you digs. Yep, that's what me and Scarpad were right at 4 as well. Two Guns said 4, and Evan gave it a 4.5. So it looks like we're at with all 4s and 1 4.5, we're at a 4.069, brother. That math is on point, I'm telling you.
Right.
But so that knocks show 1 for Horror Fest. Next week we are going to be doing this is a Two Gun Pedro pick that we've been wanting to watch actually for a while. So we're going to be doing Wolf Creek next week, which is an Australian horror movie based on true events.
Sounds like you get a floater.
No.
Okay.
Just probably turning around. Two Gun always puts this little plastic in there so I don't get a floater. So no, it was just rolling around. So yeah, next maybe it was a floater because it got a little scratched up. Yeah, clean it. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing next week. Is Wolf Creek. I'd say we'll probably do it next Tuesday. I think for the majority, we'll probably be doing the show on Tuesday, unless something comes up, and then we'll probably do it Monday. But for right now, I think we're gonna go for Tuesday around 8:30, I'd say, guys. So look out for that. And yeah, a lot of boutique stuff coming out, so be on the lookout for that. I can't wait for that Nightmare on Elm Street set. I'm so hyped for those TCM Arrow sets next week. That's all I'm gonna be. They better come early Tuesday, because as soon as I get them, I'm popping them in the player. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, my guy?
No, just I'm going to be jumping over to Discord to show Quartermass in the Pit in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah. And as always, shout out my boy Ev. Made us a fucking fire-ass intro for Horror Fest. If you guys didn't see in the beginning, you're going to see it now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. What's up, Kenneth? Appreciate everyone who dropped in. And as always, peace out, and we'll see you next week.
Happy Horror Fest.
Later, yo.